Imagine spawning into a world and you only have half a heart, in hardcore difficulty. In this video, I'm gonna survive 50 days without taking any damage, which means no gaps, no totems and no logging immunity. These are the 3 rules of this challenge. My goal is of course to beat all 4 bosses, including the Warden, and I'll start with the Ender Dragon. Let's go into the run! For starters, I got a few tools and a few extra basic blocks. And then I went into the ocean, which can contain shipwrecks and buried treasure. However, the most valuable thing is of course the water cave, where no mobs can spawn. And just like that, I was able to mine all the iron I needed for the run. Plus some gold, that I will use later in the run to craft golden boots, useful when fighting piglins. Once I resurfaced, it was already night. The first night is very important because I can get gunpowder by killing creepers. And so, after killing cows for some quick food, I was ready to face my first night. I now had enough gunpowder and it started turning it today. So after some animal slaughtering and some inventory managing, I was ready to face off the Nether. This is one of the hardest phases of the run, if not the hardest, as I can die in so many ways. I could die by lava, magma blocks, or even just fall to my death cause the terrain is terrible. Seriously, there are cliffs everywhere, like literally. When you add long range mobs like skeletons that spawn everywhere, the Nether really is the most dangerous dimension for this challenge. So after building a quick Nether portal, I went through to start exploring the Nether. And when I thought I had a poop spawn, I turned around and saw a bastion extra close to me. After making my way there by bridging with wood, I used the strategy that I often use in bastions, which is to dig in walls. I do that cause in bastions there are brutes which are dangerous hostile mobs with axes capable of breaking my shield, leaving me exposed. By going over them, I can pour lava on the brutes, which is the safest way to deal with them. Plus by mining into the walls, I am quite literally at the safest place possible. Almost. So after looting a few more chests to get loot like more iron or obsidian, I noticed the most useless brute of all time, trapped in the middle of literal lava. Loser. Then I went down, trying to not punch any piglins, and still being on the watch out for brutes. After pouring lava on piglins that were in my way, I went ahead and mined the gold that the bastion has to offer. Then I was able to start a short trading session with piglins that were outside or in the bastion, attracting them with gold. After some more inventory management, I had enough stuff to leave the bastion and I went on the lookout for another fortress. It didn't take me long as there was one almost right next to the bastion. However, I only had one fire resistance potion, which is not enough if I want to get at least 12 rods. Fortunately, I had in my inventory enough materials to brew more potions, cause I had magma cream. So I only needed 2 blaze rods, one for the brewing stand and the other to fuel it. I will speed up the first bit of the fortress part, cause trying to explore it without fire res was very tedious. However, if you want to see the whole adventure, I will be uploading soon the uncut 50 days, also as a proof that I didn't fake it. So after going to the overworld to grab some sand and the water needed to make pots, I was able to brew 3 8-minute long fire res potions. I now had enough potions to grant me all the time I needed to kill blazes. As you can see, my strategy to get blaze rods is to kill blazes from afar and then pull the rods to me with a fishing rod. I'm doing this so that no blaze can spawn on me as I am not in their spawn area. After literally pulling a few strings, I was able to leave the fortress with enough blaze rods for the end. After struggling a bit to get out alive, I started throwing ice which pointed the way to the stronghold. On my way there, I found a village where I stayed at for a bit in order to gain some more ender pearls from a cleric. With these, I crafted more Eyes of Ender, and I also took this opportunity to buy some more arrows that I would need for the dragon fight. I left this village on day 7 with enough supplies to beat the Ender Dragon. After traveling to a mountain not too far away, I started digging down until I finally found myself facing the stronghold. Now, while past me explores this structure, I'm gonna explain my strategy to defeat the dragon. The plan is pretty straightforward. I break the crystals, I use my crossbow to damage the dragon, and then I finish the fight off with my axe. To be honest, it's no crazy strategy, and it's already what I do in a normal dragon fight. However, the slight change is that if the dragon flies into me, I'm as good as dead. To face this issue, my tactic is simply to pillar up when I see that the dragon is perching, or to go into the fountain where I know I'm safe. With all of that in mind, let's go back to the playthrough. After taking care of the silverfish spawner and setting my spawn, I was ready to beat the end. And there it was, with only half a heart, in Minecraft Hardcore I had defeated the Ender Dragon. Now starts the late game part of the run, where after gathering the XP and egg gave by the dragon, I was ready to start exploring the outer end. I wasn't looking for just any city, but only for an end ship, which contains an elytra. However, doing this search without pearls was long, to say the least. At long last, I was facing an end ship, and I was able to pillar up to get the elytra. Then, after crafting some rockets, I looted a few more end cities before I could finally return to the overworld. Now starts the real late game, where my first goal is to acquire Wither Skulls in order to defeat the Wither on day 50. So after swiftly looting the Stronghold library to get books and string, I made my way back to the village I stopped at earlier. I set my base at this village, as villagers are very useful in the late game, because they can provide useful enchants to help me fight the bosses. First things first, I needed a gunpowder and sugarcane farm to get more fireworks, cause 8 wasn't gonna cut it and I didn't want to spend another night risking my whole run to get creepers. So after organizing my items and the villagers, I had a long trading session which resulted in a good elytra with mending and unbreaking, a sword with looting free, and overall good enough tools and armor enchants. By the way, saying it took a long time really is an understatement, as this part of the run with my villager luck is definitely the most tedious part of the whole run. To give you some context, I spent so long trying to get Unbreaking 3 that I stopped recycling when I got only Unbreaking 2. Anyway, that doesn't matter, back to the run. I gathered a few materials and started building the farm. I finished the farm on day 28 and AFK'd some time to get enough gunpowder for the rest of the run. I then brew some more fire rest pots and went back to the nether to get the wizard skeleton skulls. As I explained before, the nether is a dangerous place, and this part of the run is undoubtedly the most dangerous part, as fortress mobs ally with skeletons and ghasts, with one goal, to kill me. This is the first run in which I acquired the Wither Skulls, so it's safe to say that I was pretty nervous at this point. However, I still had 3 bosses left to kill, meaning this video is only the first part of 2. Yeah, sorry for that, but editing this video alone already took me a longer time than I could have ever imagined. And if I want to upload something one day, I have to upload the 2 different parts in 2 separate videos. This first part took me almost 2 months to edit, and if you've come this far in the video, I'd really appreciate it if you could leave a like and subscribe. You can also comment your thoughts to help me improve my editing skills in order to make the second part even better than this first one. With that said, see you next time!